Like one will be like yours, super manja, will just want to cuddle, want to be with you all the time. But then you will have the other end of the spectrum where they are just, don't touch me.
Right.
Let me live my hamster life. I will not want to interact with you. Hi everyone, welcome back to this episode of In a Nutshell, How to Choose a Pet for the First Time. In today's episode, we're going to talk all about the spatial requirements and different personalities of pets. For hamsters, right, we actually require at least 90 by 50 cm of unbroken floor space. And then for the height, it can go anywhere from like 50 up because you do need the bedding height. So we do recommend maybe 6-7 inches at least so that the hamsters can burrow because they are burrowing animals. So hamsters, they don't actually need the height. So if you see like those cheap Taobao enclosures, it's really like 3 stories one. They really don't need that height. They rather the bigger space. Hamsters, they are actually solitary animals, so we do keep them separately. So one enclosure, one hamster. They do tend to fight, they do tend to get a bit territorial. It's just a very bloody mess, and we are trying our best to prevent that kind of thing. Besides the enclosure, we also need space for free roam time. So there's 2 ways you can go about doing that. You can either go and purchase a play pet. The other way that you can provide free roam time is just to ensure that you have a closed space, like let's say your room, and then just let them run around in the room.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's very accessible, very easy to actually give them free roam time because it helps with enrichment, it helps them exercise a lot more than just being in a small enclosure. If you have other pets, like bigger animals like dogs or cats, right? Cats especially because they can jump high. What you need to do is make sure that the enclosure is properly covered with a lid just to make sure that the other animals can't get to the pets lah.
Of course.
Yeah.
We also need to have like more enriching things for the cats as part of furnitures around the house. We also have some things like this at the back. So while I kind of hope it's aesthetically pleasing because it kind of goes with the whole home vibe, it is just really for aesthetics, right? While being useful and practical. So we actually put on things like a scratch pad that is over the sofa handle. So while I can put my mugs, my cup of drinks, she also can utilize it as scratch pads. So aside from just these enrichment things, and stuff, it's also safety that is really important. You speak to a fair bit of cat owners, one of the first few questions they always ask is, you got mesh your house? I mean, cats are just really, they're like liquid to be honest. So even with grills, it may not be the safest. They can get distracted outside, like seeing a bird that they want to catch or a butterfly that's flying off. They are not aware, they just go out. And then they might fall. So I think that is really the most basic thing to do to mesh your windows for safety. A lot of different breeds has a lot of different personality attached to them. So Siberians are apparently a little bit more dog-like and they love being around family. While different breeds, the traits may differ, it's worthy for people to know that just because of breed, the personalities also play a part.
You can have like the same hamsters, like winter whites, but you will have different personalities.
Right.
Like one will be like yours, super manja, will just want to cuddle, want to be with you all the time. But then you will have the other end of the spectrum where they are just, don't touch me. Let me live my hamster life. I will not want to interact with you.
You have a term for that, right? What is it?
I think it's called ghost hamsters.
Right.
Yes, like you will not see them. You will essentially just be taking care of them. You won't even interact with them. But that's how they like it. So I think hamster owners, you also need to kind of understand that you can't really pick and choose the type of personalities and type of hamsters that you want.
Correct.
Yeah. So more often than not, you will see manja hamsters online. But then in reality, you might get some hamster that is a bit more reserved.
That's all for this episode on spatial requirements and personality of pets. In the next episode, we will talk more about adopting and shopping for a pet. I'm Ernie.
I'm Shannon.
And this is In a Nutshell, How to Choose Your Pet for the First Time.